Hello, my name is Orland Damey, and I'm a Symantec consultant here with ITS Partners. And as part of our 5 reasons to migrate to Altiris 7.1 series, I'm going to be talking about the integration component of the new 7.1 system. And I'll look at some of the day-to-day operations so you can have an idea of what to look forward to in the future development of the system. So starting off in the Symantec Management Console screen, and I'm going to go ahead and move over into Manage Computers. First thing we're going to look at is I'm going to choose a managed computer here. We have our Altiris 7 server, and immediately we have our jobs and tasks that are been completed and successful on the main page. If I click down to policies, we see any policies that currently target this computer. Moving down to software, we can see all installed software purchases. We have the ability to click install software from the same page. We have the ability to also add a policy and add a new schedule for a job and tasks, all from the central window here. And moving on, we can immediately see all of our existing jobs and tasks. We can see our created policies from this window here. Moving on, we can see our software, in particular our managed software. Now, looking at our compliance, immediately you'll recognize this green and red bar we have, which demonstrates the level of compliance your system is at. If we move down to another purchase here, we have an example of licenses that have already been added and currently under deployed. We've got one computer with SQL installed, the Altiris 7 server, and we've got 5 licenses. So right now we have a potential savings of about $200 by harvesting these licenses using the Altiris system. Let's move on to Silverlight, and just for an example, we can see we're neutral. We have no licenses to speak of. Let's go ahead and add one and give you an idea what the process would look like. We're going to back up into identifying inventory. Here we have our settings. We've already been created in a different page. You see this is Silverlight. We have a software name. We can modify the criteria from this screen if we'd like. In terms of metering and tracking, we can see the specific program and entry that has already been defined. In this case, we don't have a specific program. We can add from this screen. In terms of delivery, if we did have any delivery policies, we'd see those here. But I'm going to go back to licenses, and we're going to add a license purchase. We're going to choose some basic settings here. I'm going to choose an amount of approximately 5 licenses, and since this is Silverlight, technically it's free, but we're going to go ahead and value this at about $50 a license. I'm going ahead and add that. Once this has been added, this information will be populated in the asset management portion of this screen. The further details and customization you're used to in the existing system will be located there, but just demonstrating how to quickly add a license is the purpose of this primarily. Now we can see our line is shifted. We have potential savings about $50 by harvesting some of these licenses, and then we've got our usage here on the bottom. Now moving on from this screen, getting more in depth in terms of looking at our software, we have the software catalog, which now is under the Manage button above Software. Immediately we're greeted with the Manage Software catalog. On the left we have our newly discovered and undefined software. Using the arrows here, we can move those into our managed software products. Let's go ahead and bring Adobe Reader 8 over. Now we have a similar screen to what you saw before, but we have more ability to customize. We're looking at the software identity. We already have our software resource we've discovered. We have one install, and we're looking at version 10. In terms of metering and tracking, let's add a program to better define this system. Let's show all program files, and let's search for Adobe. And let's switch over to Acrobat. We've got Acrobat 32, and we'll snap that over to the associated programs and hit OK. Now we'll move on to delivery. We already have a software delivery package created. We're going to leave that alone. Here we can see the package location without going into the specific managed software component. And then licenses. Let's go ahead and add a license from this screen as well. We'll choose 10 licenses at a cost of about $100 a piece. And I'm going to hit OK on that. And here we have the step-by-step adding and defining software, bringing it into the system. I'm going to hit cancel on our example here. And close out of this. To summarize, we've looked at some of the integration enhancements in the new system, primarily focusing on the consolidation of the managed computer screen, the managed software screen, and how some of those day-to-day operations will be like in your organization. I hope you enjoy the rest of our series on our 5 reasons to migrate, and I thank you for your time.